Go time, fire signs. That's what I heard. As soon as I dropped into your energy, we're here to do a little next 72 hours action read here to see what kind of themes are going to be introducing themselves into your world over the next few days. But I did hear this very clearly as I dropped into your collective energy. It's go time. Something that has been held up is finally coming through. I think there's going to be somebody that's going to be really sore about this. I got that. Okay. What's good for you isn't necessarily good for the gander. All right. We're going to drop in first with a little kind of collective energy read for the fire signs, and then I'll get individual messages for each of you. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Of course, when we get to that portion, Aries will be first out of the gate because Aries, you're leading the charge right now. And it is your solar return, and that's the way we do it around here. So do be mindful that it's the next 72 hours whenever you come across this message. So in that respect, even though there's a time frame around it, these messages are timeless. And though the themes are introduced over the next few days, and you'll see the signs of the tide turning, it does not necessarily mean that it's negated to only a 72-hour window. There could be more further development down the line, as is often the case. This is usually the introduction of an energy signature. It takes some time for it to play out. All right, so let's dive into it. I felt really compelled to open up with the Kipper deck for you all, so I know that something is coming in here straight up. I got my shadow light playing cards out on the table for a little cartomancy. And yes, I just saw a bird fly this way. So I do feel like there's some message coming in here from a main male or toward a main male. This could be concerning Aries, the first house energy coming in there. Let's see what this is about. Okay, so it did come toward the east. East is the direction of Aries with that falcon medicine, hawk medicine on the medicine wheel. So this could be that a main male is receiving a message that something that was held up is coming through. This very well could be an Aries receiving this news, or this is something that's going to be coming through in Aries season, perhaps even in this lunar cycle. It is leading up to the Libra full moon, which I believe arrives on the scene on the 12th. And Aries descendant is Libra. So if you're a Libra rising, this message could be in relation to you too. Okay. So let's check it out. When we're looking at the fire signs, this may also speak to Libra rising, Aquarius rising, and Gemini risings. You are the descendant signs of the fire signs there. So let's see what we got here. All right, I do feel like whatever this is, there's a lot of stuff being shuffled around at this time. There's a lot of movable parts. You're not aware of this, okay? There's things happening behind the scene right now to line this up. Something that has taken its time coming in is finally coming through. Right. And I did tell you that for somebody on the scene, this creates a little bit of consternation. Whatever this message is, it causes another concern, maybe throws them out of balance a little bit. Number 14 there. I do feel like this is something that it's really come down to timing. Somebody may have been sort of, working on borrowed time in a situation, and now they're going to find out time's up because something is coming through for you, right? I really feel that. It's the tower moment for somebody, right? Somebody that, perhaps is a person's muse here. They might have been working on borrowed time. Maybe they didn't recognize that. They thought they could just kind of leave matters sitting for a while and have things sort of play into their hands. That's the vibe I got. But I feel like somebody's cutting to the chase. Like somebody here is taking very clear, decisive action. They're not thinking about something anymore. They're actually putting something in motion. But I do feel like where something's finally coming through for someone here, it causes some kind of concern when they get wind of this, all right? Let me see what their thoughts are about this. In what way are they concerned? In what way are they concerned? Spirit, why are they concerned about this? It's almost like somebody was like fantasizing about taking an action in a particular direction and they just sat on it. And they didn't recognize that they were working on borrowed time. And now that time is being taken out of their hands because something's meant to come into alignment for you, fire signs, at this time. And this is going to cause somebody concern. It's going to throw them out of balance. Feel that very strongly. Comes as a tower to them, okay? And this could be something that comes as a tower to somebody connected to a Sagittarius, because we do have number 16, number 14 out here on the board, okay? It could be an Aries that is delivering this tower, I have to say, or it potentially could be an Aquarius. That would be a Leo descendant, all right? You see how this energy can kind of factor in. There could even be a little Scorpio action in the mix. I do feel like this is a matter related to the 8th house of Scorpio. It's something that's been operating behind the scenes. I'm also getting call out energy, like something that's been hidden is about to be called out. Like it's not going to be able to operate behind the scenes anymore. It was working on borrowed time and now its cover is about to be blown. And that might cause somebody a message of concern as well, sort of to be outed like this in this situation. Interesting. What is this? Something is really wanting to be concealed, and for that to come out around the Kipper deck is quite illuminating, right? Yeah, somebody might be realizing the time's ticking here. They might be running for cover in a situation because they know this exposure moment is coming. What is this? All right, I'm going to do a cut of the deck, and we're going to get into this a little bit deeper. What do we got here? Ooh, we got some unexpected income coming in here. So there is some kind of payout, some kind of payoff in some cases. Yeah, and this could be something that was even held up legally, okay? Finally, you know, you're getting through some red tape. It's going through. You're getting something that's due you here with courthouse. It's a big change. It's a judgment in your favor. But I feel like it destabilizes somebody else in this scenario. Like they weren't banking on this. They weren't banking on this coming through for you. All right. There was something you did here or you're about to do where you're taking a real strong independent action. It's something that you've sort of weighed out for a long time here. And you're acting from a place of wisdom, from sort of assessing a situation. And I do feel like you have a certain inspiration here because it does have that kind of like muse quality to it. You got your sights set on something here. You've been thinking about it for a while. There's a little bit of a gamble element to it. But for some reason before, it was held up or it was blocked. And it could have been because there was even some kind of red tape or some kind of legalities or some kind of institution in play that was causing problems and holding things up. There might have even been some point where you reached this place where you thought, this is just never going to come in. It's going to be tied up forever. No, there's some big payoff coming in here, but it's because of a certain action you're taking. And in some cases, I have to say, this was wanting to move forward toward a particular person of interest with courtship here, or perhaps wanting to take a certain business opportunity if you were being courted with an offer by a company, but perhaps you were like involved in some kind of contractual agreement or you had some kind of a binding arrangement and there could have been legal tones involved in that were preventing this from moving forward. But now I feel like there's a new foundation that's being put in place. It sort of like levels the old foundation though, whatever this is. All right, interesting energy here. And again, main male on the bottom of the deck. So this very well could concern the man of the hour. This could concern an Aries with the first house there. I do feel like it's a personal moment of like really just aiming for a target and hitting it. but it's because you finally got some insight about the right way to proceed in this situation. 10 on the clock, okay? 10 on the clock, bottom of the deck here. 5 of Pentacles, interesting. So I do feel like you were operating from a place of lack. You were waiting for something to come in for you here, but you felt like it was held back. And before, you didn't feel like you had the power to act or move forward, like really feeling hemmed in here or having something blocked by a particular devil in this scenario, somebody that was in a position of power and was using that in such a way that they were sort of warlording that power over another. Like, this is somebody who's kind of like on an ego trip that's taking advantage of a situation because of their status. And maybe even this is somebody who can kind of like make or break someone. It's like, look, you either, get on my side or I can cause a lot of loss for you. I feel that kind of energy around it. This is somebody who can, like, really have you sitting pretty, or they can make you worse off than you ever were before. But the thing you got to be aware of in a situation like this is who are you making deals with here? And there is something to consider here, because I do feel like this piece is sort of put out there at this time that you do need to be mindful of. There is a deal, I feel, that's going to be put on the table. It can move something forward. It can get you something you've been wanting for a while. And for some of you, this is some kind of financial revenue coming in, some kind of leveling up in status or position. But you got to be aware of the contracts that you're signing, because there might be something you sacrifice along the way that you don't necessarily want to release here. And this could be your ability to move forward in a certain inspired direction gets tabled if you cut this deal with this particular devil here. It's sort of like once you sign on the dotted line here, you don't have as much independent agency to move. And the reason being is that you're bound by contractual agreements in this case. Okay. And, you may feel like in terms of love, you may have felt held back because of a prior contractual arrangement, some type of committed relationship, and you were going through a messy process of like divvying up assets and figuring out who gets what. And it took some time to sort through that. And you weren't really free to move forward as you so desired. Maybe because you were afraid how it would affect your standing in your community, affect your reputation. Also, maybe you wanted to start in a particular direction. You had an enterprising idea, but you didn't want to necessarily launch this business objective of your own while you were still legally tied to another, because that also could create loss for you, complication. And there's something here about, I don't want to share the dividends from this. And I do feel like something is unexpectedly being settled here in your favor. It's going through. There might be some strings attached, though, that you do need to be aware of, because it could, in the same tone of give you this like advantage, financial increase, some kind of, up leveling of your status, it could cause you to have to release a certain new beginning you were hoping for in a particular direction. With that, we have the Empress here. And right behind the Empress, we have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, the Empress makes all things grow. So something you wanted to grow and develop could be held back because of this. This is something you want to be aware of here. I also see there's this piece of wanting to have a balanced outcome with somebody of interest here. With the Empress, this could be coming in very strongly if you're a Libra rising, all right? You could be dealing with a Libra, you could be dealing with a Taurus. This could be also a mother figure here. But I do feel like whatever this situation is, truth is going to prevail. There will be balance achieved in this situation. And if you have been dealing with anybody who wanted to get their hands on your assets or try to swipe your fortune here, there's certain measures being put in place that are going to make that an impossibility. I also feel that somebody who was very arrogant in the power they held over you in the past is going to have to watch and be unable to take any action to stop this up leveling for you. They're going to have to watch this roll out for you. as you're sort of like taking center stage here, okay? It's got those vibes, right? There's a Capricorn in the mix here too. But this definitely has something to do with a big rise in status, something you've been waiting for, increased finances here. And somebody's going to be really bitter about it. But it's sort of like they were working on borrowed time. They thought that you could just, be put on ice and that you'd sit there and wait for them to finally make up their mind about a shared situation. You're like, no, time's up. Okay, I got another offer on the table, and this is looking a little bit more appealing to me. This could also be hedging your bets in the business arena too. I could see this could almost be like you got a couple different entities fighting over you. They realize you're a hot ticket, you're a hot commodity. Somebody here is sweetening the pot in such a way where it definitely has you maybe considering jumping ship from one that you originally planned on setting sail on. You might be deciding to move forward in a totally new direction here because of this unexpected twist, right? It does sort of rock the foundation of a previous plan that was set in place. That's what I got, okay? Bottom of the deck energy here, 9 of Pentacles. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I think whatever this is that's coming through for you, it does increase your wealth. It increases your wealth. It also makes somebody kind of dance to your tune. I feel like you got some room to maneuver here for sure. And whoever is coming in here that wants to partner with you, they are an excellent familiar. So this actually could really pay off. I don't know. And with this energy of the unicorn coming in there, I feel like this is like sort of a rare experience. It's like a once in a lifetime thing. You got to strike while the iron's hot. And with that, we got the Queen of Swords here, okay? Who can acquire all the treasures of heaven and earth. So big Libra energy coming in here. Libra rising again. Aries, that's your descendant. This could be something that has been needing to transform for a while, something related to the South Node, the old cycle when you and your polar opposite there, Libra, were holding down the nodes of destiny. It's finally coming in here. This message has been coming out pretty strongly for Libra energy, Aries energy, since you were holding down the nodes of destiny before, and there's been a changing of the guards there. I do feel like this is the time where you're sort of seeing the fruits of your labor for what's come 2 years prior to now. And it does look like something's coming in for you, but it really disappoints somebody else. Somebody else is bitter about this for sure. That's what I see. Let's see if there's any more details here. There could be another air sign energy in the mix too. We'll go ahead and bring it in. Aside from Libra, I mean, certainly we've got all the other air signs as the descending signs. So this could also be involving not just a Libra or a Libra rising, but we're looking at Gemini rising. We're looking at Aquarius rising too, or you could be dealing with a situation involving an air sign here that has access to certain treasures, right? I feel like there's something here that is working out. There's some kind of undeniable truth that can't be ignored that's setting a certain course of action in motion. You'll see here on the Queen of Swords here, the sword has fire on it. So it's sort of like a teaming up of air and fire. And yeah, this is coming through some kind of news with Page of Wands. Some kind of news that gives the answers you were looking for concerning something that was going down in the past, something that was hidden, but maybe you suspected. And it puts you in a position of power in the future to take action in the now. All right. I feel that. Also, there might be somebody here that wants to be kind of a silent partner. Okay. Because it says can make one invisible. So they might want to invest in this with you, or they might want to play a hand in it, but they sort of want to be hidden behind the scenes. Like there's a reason for that. Perhaps they want to avoid some kind of complication, something that could be sort of a public spectacle or cause problems on that level. Okay. So it's sort of like making a deal, but sort of a behind the scenes deal is what I'm getting here. For some of you, it's going down in the area of love, all right? And for others, it's going down in business. But either way, money is involved. And I feel like the way the money is coming into the scene is that there's like contractual agreements involved or some kind of legal process involved, and maybe a need to be careful about how you're moving because you have to extricate yourself from one contractual agreement in order to enter into another. And there needs to be sort of like a crafty, sort of deft way of handling that situation so there's not future complications. But it looks like that road opens with the Fool. All right, good energy here. Big Leo energy coming in with Aquarius rising here. Also looking at Aries, of course, with the Fool. But yeah, this message does open a road. It sets things in motion. And you're really understanding what's coming through and what's being communicated here. Like you're feeling resonance with it. It feels like a match to you. And it finally gives you the answers you were searching for about, okay, what's the next step? What's going to come in now? All right, this looks really good. Big Fool energy. So definitely working with the energy in play in Aries season here. I dig it. And let's get some further clarification with my shadow light playing cards. Okay, we do have the 10 of clubs in the shadow on the bottom of the deck. So I don't feel like this has come in yet. This message will come in, right? But there is something that needs to be handled in relation to this behind the scenes. And Ted just confirmed that, because if you're too like public about it, right out the gate, there could be complications, and it may have to do with certain legalities or certain arrangements that you're already tied up in here. It could cause problems, all right? So I do feel like there might be a great reveal with this down the road, but initially it's like the cogs are getting turning behind the scenes here. But there's some kind of incentive that comes in right out the gate that sweetens the pot, and it's something you've been waiting a long time for, right? But yeah, I do feel like this has something to do with like public image or public perception, how it could affect your credibility or your reputation. And so before you have this big reveal, you need to kind of like keep it behind the scenes until everything is in place and established here. That's what I feel, all right? And that certainly could be with a relationship too, okay? You know that there's going to be opposition. You know that there's going to be pushback. People are going to have a problem with this. So it's sort of like you gotta keep it behind the scenes before you go crowing about it, or you could kind of shoot yourself in the foot. It may even take a particular deal off the table because of like the pushback you get here, all right? And with that, we got the 10 of diamonds. Okay, so again, this is a big level up financially. It's absolutely affecting your 10th house. This is super strong business indications here. Now, it could be, you know, that it makes an old lover here bitter. You know, they don't want to see you come up like this. If you got somebody who's like keeping an eye on you, sort of spying out what's going on with you, and they've been hot on your tail here, like they're going to be bitter to see you having this moment. It's a big level up. It is. It's a big level up. And it is good news for you. It's very positive here. But I do feel like there needs to be a hidden element. Yeah, because somebody here is feeling really burned by it. And it could be a lover you had in the past. You know, maybe they were hoping to find themselves in this position. It could be somebody that was competing against you here for this opportunity. It could be water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio with the hearts energy coming out there, right? They're going to view it as a tower. Like, wait a minute, that was my opportunity. That was my spot. I had my sights set on that treasure. Okay, yeah, but I don't think that they're going to get it. And it's funny because as I said that about the treasure, the very worn 3 of clubs that is all about this coming in for you, that's finally coming in, went back in the deck. So I do feel like you have some blocking energy around this. It's probably related to a lover, a spurned lover. Maybe somebody that you suspected was just like trying to take advantage of you here. Yeah, you're going to get the upper hand in this situation. I like this for you. It's like a last laugh energy. And certainly this was a lover who had some designs on your fortune here with the Queen of Diamonds. It could also be a business competitor, okay? Somebody who's been moving real shady, man. They thought it was funny too. I feel like they thought it was sort of like a sure thing. They thought they were going to have some kind of victory here. It ain't working out that way. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oh, yeah, it's a big loss for them. Yeah, that's what I see. So this is what you're dealing with here. Looks like it's paying off for you. Let me see here. How's it going to turn out for the fire signs in relation to this deal? If they play it close to the chest and they move correctly because they know they got kind of some opposition on their tail here. How's it going to turn out for the fire signs in relation to this? Give me some clues. Somebody has a problem with who you're partnering with here, okay? So if this causes you to get out of one contractual agreement to go in another direction, whoever you were working with before is real bitter about this, okay? They take it personal. It's like a big blow to their ego. And I feel like if this has to do with romance, yeah, I mean, somebody feels the same because in some way they feel like whoever you're connecting with here is giving you a rise in status. And for some reason, it's humiliating to them because they thought that for sure they were going to be the one. That's what I got. Okay. How it's coming through. All right. What do we got here? Crossing energy coming up in the light. Yeah. King of Hearts. I mean, this main male, whoever this main male is winning big here. Is winning big. And see, that's funny how it comes out, okay? Because you see here, like, it's like this King of Hearts is coming in with this like Joker sort of energy, the way it lined up on the board. And here's the bitter defeat, right, of the Queen of Diamonds here. And this is how the energy is coming in. With the Joker in the middle, but do you see? It's like, here's this King of Hearts armed with this truth, and he's just waiting. He's waiting to use it. He's got the tip of Fraggle Rock pointing at this Queen of Diamonds in the shadow. And he wants some answers, and he's going to get them because there's been something funny going on here. Because somebody was trying to get their hands on something through nefarious means, I have to say. This is very competitive, like aiming low, just real knockdown, drag out kind of energy here. Totally misaligned too with the Four of Clubs coming up in the shadow. And it could be, potentially, this could be going down in the arena, like I was saying, of a love relationship. But this would be a relationship where there definitely was some kind of legalities involved, either because you were partnering with each other on something and there's like the divvying up of assets, or you were straight up married to a person and you need to get out of that, or you're a business partner and it was like a merger or a marriage of sorts in that way, maybe went in on a house together, okay, maybe purchased a house together or something like this, right? I feel like you're definitely like not involved, with this energy here, not anymore. But they're going to feel like you moved kind of like shady. Like they may accuse you of you aiming low when actually it's the other way around. But you're going to get like the receipts or the evidence you need to really call this person out on this. So characters involved in this situation, as far as who you're aligning with here, it's got strong Queen of Swords energy. So air sign energy coming in very strongly. Also the air risings, your fire descendants. So this could be coming in very strongly for you. I see a lot of air fire out here as far as the advancement energy. And I see, as far as the oppositional energy, it really looks like it's a queen of diamonds in the shadow. Somebody that's a business competitor, or somebody with a strong earth placement, or somebody that's kind of like queen of diamonds is somebody that does have a certain level of status. Perhaps they have a certain level of visibility. They already have a reputation that precedes them. But when it's in the shadow, this is like a socialite energy. This is somebody who really values surface appearances. This is somebody out on the scene. They're at all the parties. They go to all the openings. They rub elbows with higher ups. This is also somebody who is very greedy and has a tendency to run their mouth, okay? They can be a gossip. So this could even be somebody like spilling secrets about a secret love connection, or spilling secrets about, the industry you're in, something you were partnering on together, spilling industry secrets, revealing something, maybe playing both ends to the middle because they wanted a certain spot. And I almost feel like that's being used against them by somebody they think they're partnering with, but is actually a competitor. And it puts some power in your hands, and they're going to feel like you're the one who is pulling the funny business. But no, it's just that their own game turned against them. That's how it's coming out. And it's bitter loss here with the 5 of Hearts in the shadow as you come into this alignment. Bitter loss, definitely. You're dealing with somebody likely that you were romantically involved with before. Strong water sign and earth sign energy coming in here, okay? And they're very pissed off about whatever this is that you're winning big on here, because they feel like they got duped. They had their heart set on a certain outcome. This person may have even been a little bit manipulative. It may have been a strictly business relationship. And this may have been somebody who was trying to, sort of put on the seduction, or, just entice in that way, try to mix business with pleasure. Or maybe things got a little too personal with somebody you were collaborating with on this level, and they're trying to use that to their advantage. Okay. And it didn't work. The manipulation didn't work. All right, let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. And then I'll get some individual messages for each of you. All right, something's being balanced out here, okay? Good news about something being balanced out in your favor here. And whatever this is, other options you were exploring, or some kind of illusion that was spun here that put you in a position, where you really went cold. Okay, you went cold because you were really wanting to move forward toward something that was supposed to pay off big time here with the 9 of diamonds. It's like independent wealth, but you kept finding the way blocked. And it's because somebody was in the mix here that was playing both sides of the fence, and they were creating a lot of confusion in the situation that was making it impossible for you to actually get through to the other side of this. And it does have the energy that you might have gotten like pretty bitter here. I see that. This could be coming in really strongly for you if you are a Leo rising. That would make you an Aquarius descendant. There could be an Aquarius connection here coming in relation to this, okay? You could have a strong Aquarius or Leo placement in your chart. But I do feel like, one thing about Aquarius is they're pretty good at playing that game. So if they suspect, that somebody is pulling a fast one on them or trying to make things confusing, they know how to cut that shit off real fast. They do. They know how to distance themselves, detach from some mess real fast. And I see that that's kind of like what is happening here, because you're getting some kind of inside tip information. You can't get away from this other energy fast enough with the 3 of spades in the shadow to the death. And look at that. It has you sitting pretty. It's good to be king. I see that. it's good for you, right? Works out for you. Bitter disappointment, going to feel like betrayal to somebody else. They're going to say that you stabbed them in the back, but it's funny because they were the ones manipulating the whole time. That's what I got. All right. I'm going to get some individual messages for each of you just to see what the details are. Never a dull moment with the fire signs. Never a dull moment. And hey, Aries, it's your season. So yeah, expect things to get a little heated up here. And certainly we have to look at the energy that's in play right now. It's all about individuation when we're looking at that first house. It's about people thinking about, well, what am I wanting? You know, where am I at? How can this work out for me? All right. So be aware of the territory we're moving through at this time. People are more self-oriented and they're going to make moves on their own behalf. You know what? I kind of want to go with this energy. It has a little bit of sort of tongue-in-cheek playfulness to it, even though it has an edge. So I'm going to pull out the super awesome future cards here, just as a baseline energy for all the fire signs before I get into the individuals. Oh, yeah, somebody's going to be on the attack here. Yep, somebody's going to be on the attack here. So I do feel like there's a feminine in this situation that's going to be pissed. And this could also be a headhunter energy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to be pissed that a headhunter, you know, that wanted to get you on their team, that wanted to strike while the iron was hot, wasn't just like resting on their laurels, but took action. And now, you know, wherever you've been, whatever you've been doing here, there's somebody that's really upset because they thought that they could just kind of sit around, put you on ice, and they were going to get some kind of victory here. But they kept you on hold too long. I feel like that's what this is, okay? And something seems like really unexpected here, very unexpected with the way it comes through. But somebody's put in a very powerful position. And it could even be a feminine being put in a powerful position here too. I could see that as well. Coming in with the number 6. So definitely like there's something being put on the table here. It's tempting. It's a tempting offer. But you do have to realize that somebody is going to be on the attack in this situation when this comes up and out. I feel that. And a choice needs to be made. But I see you going for it. I do see you going for it. All right. Let's go ahead and bring in Aries first. So let's see, how is this playing out for Aries, Spirit? Aries, Libra risings. How is this scenario playing out for Aries and Libra risings, Spirit? What's coming through for Aries and Libra risings in relation to this situation here? Bottom of the deck. Look at this. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. There's somebody here that wants to sweeten the pot. They want to strike a deal. And they got the resources to be able to make it look very appealing here. I do feel like there's a little bit of concern. Like, if I do this, am I putting myself in a position of sort of being like a sitting pigeon? Is there going to be a target on my back? What is this going to rouse for me personally here? But there is judgment coming in with this situation with the number 20 here. And I think there is something to have a lot of clarity around in regard to this. I do see if you've been in a position where you've been worried about advancement, this does put you in the black, okay? It does move you into greater expansion. There might be some kind of travel connected with this. You might need to travel to take full advantage of a certain opportunity. I do feel like if that's the case, it will pay off for you. I feel like if you have to travel in relation to this, there's somebody you have to meet with in the industry or whatever industry you're in. There needs to be like a face-to-face meeting here to sort of iron out details. But I do think it looks good, but you have concerns about it. Okay. You don't want to put yourself in a compromising position here, Aries. So I think this is important to consider with this, or Libra rising, okay? So really make sure you know what you're getting into here. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. I do see you going for it, okay? So you're breaking away from whatever group situation you were involved with before. This is what was holding you back. Whatever you had been doing, and it's funny, there was like that talk about you were planning on sailing forward on one ship, and now you're hopping that cruise liner, and you're going another way that takes you to much calmer, much more optimistic horizons here. Whatever you're abandoning here, it looks like it's a group situation, a group dynamic. It's all breaking up here. And there's a couple people in the situation that are really wanting a rescue from you. They're hoping that you're going to take them with you. But I think that's why they're going to feel like it's a betrayal, because you're like, nope, I'm in my emperor energy here. I haven't forgotten about this mess back here, but I don't have any part of that. And I know where I'm going here. And it's smooth sailing ahead for me, okay? But they're going to feel like you're bringing a little bit of chaos their way because of your choice to step into this. That's what I see. So something's breaking up here. It looks like a group situation. You're deciding to hop ship, and you're heading in a different direction than was expected. And we got the rider here, okay? So you're taking your head out of the sand. You're not afraid to face what you might need to face to get where you need to go here. You're ready to end an old cycle, to come into alignment with the vision that you have for your future here. Coordinates on lock. You're traveling light. You got your directions. You know exactly where you're going. And you're going to move there fast with a lot of power behind you. And it's the opening of a grand adventure. Good energy coming in here for you, okay? And let's do another deck just to cap that off. Any more details about this? Big travel indications. Again, there could be something related to home in connection with this, okay? When you get this news, it's happiness for you. Something that has been sort of like humdrum. It's been a bit too routine. You felt like, this was never going to come in for you. You're going to view it as like a stroke of luck. This is a real gift you're receiving here, and it's changing your reality. So look for this coming in. You may even receive some news about this. Today is the 4th, okay? So there might even be something that's kind of like going on right now that's making you consider if you should continue to proceed forward in a certain scenario. It looks like some kind of group situation. So this could be like a place where you're working, a kind of work you're doing, or who you've been working with, okay? Or some kind of friendship circle dynamic. There's collaboration energy here, all right? And there's setting your sights in a new direction, but like recognizing something needs to end in order to do that. You might get the good news about something finally coming in for you sometime around the 7th. And by the 10th, okay, you're already setting things in motion here. You may be arranging to travel somewhere, just sort of like iron out details here, get something dialed in. Or it's just you finally like going, I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to sit here and try to weigh it out and figure it out. I'm just going to go for it. And you're moving ahead with this, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it looks good. But whatever you're pulling away from here, they're going to make you like the scapegoat, like you're the bad guy for this. But this was a really, like, whatever this group scenario was that you were involved in, or wherever you've been working, whatever has been going on in relation to your finances and other people that have been involved in that, there's been something that's been a bit chaotic and unstable here and problematic, okay? And I feel like you're doing the right thing here. It looks really good, okay? That's what I got. Yeah, I mean, what you've been dealing with, it hasn't been your happiness. It has not been your happiness. And this is how you're turning the situation around. And there's your energy, I have to say. It's good to be king. It's good to be queen. There's that hawk medicine. Yeah, you're coming into alignment with somebody here, and it feels like a good partnership. And there's a lot of expansion coming in as a result. So do look for some activity online in relation to this. You may be expanding your network. You're partnering with new people here, collaborating with new people here. It's a little out of your element, okay? I do feel like you're doing something brand new here. And so you might be a little bit worried about your security, and this is something that will be playing out over the next 3 full moons. So do look for a big culmination with this, with the full moon coming in Libra. I feel like there's like sort of like this wheel of fortune energy, an old cycle ends, a new one begins. You get some kind of real firm like confirmation moment around the 10th in relation to that. And then with the Libra full moon the following day, it's like, all right, let's get cooking, okay? It's very lucky for you. 34 breaks down to 7, okay? It looks really good. Looks really good. I just know that there's going to be some people that are going to be pissed because they're going to feel like you're bailing out on them, or you did them dirty, or you pulled something sneaky, but it's actually the opposite, to be honest with you. It's actually the opposite. People don't usually like it when you beat them at their own game. That's all I'm going to say about that, okay? And let's dive into Leo here, okay? Leo, let's see how this is going to play out for you. How is this actually going to be playing out for Leo? How will Leo be experiencing this? What's going to be coming through for Leo in relation to this, Spirit? Give us a view of how Leo is going to be encountering this over the next 72 hours and how it's going to be playing out for them in the time to come. I don't know how long it's going to take, but just with that opening up there we have with Aries, it's probably something that's going to be playing out over the next full moon, lunar cycles, okay? So be aware of that. But something is definitely being set in motion here. So let's see how it's coming in for Leo. How's this coming in for Leo? Ooh, interesting. So Leo is not accepting an offer. Leo ain't no sitting pigeon. Leo got wind of something that made them realize if they take a certain opportunity, it's going to put them in a compromising position. And this is turning a certain bigwigs, ideas, notions, assured victory on its head. I feel like maybe somebody saw you as not being as not as sharp as you are for being able to assess a situation. Maybe they thought that they could dangle a real tantalizing offer before you and you'd just be so quick to take it. But this is a case of underestimation here. And you're turning down an offer because you recognize this person's just trying to kiss up to me. They're all about what they can get out of it. And this is probably somebody who's abused their power in relation to you at some point before. And so you're turning an offer down. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Ooh, yes. Oh, ooh, a lot of energy coming in for Leo. That's quite interesting here. Ooh, I like this though, Leo. See, this is how it's coming in for you, Leo. You know that you're dealing with a shady character here. You know you are dealing with somebody who is really camouflaging their true intentions. With the number 14 coming in here, you recognize that this is something that could really throw you out of balance. There's something that you already overcame here. For some of you Leos, you're dealing with an ex, okay? You're dealing with an ex who has a lot of other people and situations attached to them. They can have the tendency to create a lot of upheaval, a lot of chaos in your life that you do not want to deal with here. And I do feel like you're in a position where something really good is happening for you here. something is coming into alignment for you, and it feels really good to you here. But it could be, okay, that you got somebody here that's coming in that comes attached with a lot of other people who's been keeping an eye on you, and they see that you have something to crow about. You have something to feel very proud of here, and they're wanting to come in and break it up. They're wanting to cause you problems. They're wanting to bring chaos to your doorstep. This is somebody who's very sneaky here, and they're definitely keeping an eye on you. This could be an ex. It could be somebody that you used to be romantically involved with, and they're keeping an eye on you. And they want to try to sort of bring you down a notch because they feel, I'm giving it from their perspective, okay? I'm not putting this on you, Leo. From their perspective, they feel like you're a little too big for your britches. Like they don't think you deserve to be in this position. They don't like seeing you have this advantage, and they want to bring you down a few notches, okay? They want to try to sabotage this. So they may come around and they may be giving you some kind of offer, and they're really sweetening the pot and they're making it look really good. And they may be viewing you in such a way that they think it's really easy to get one over on you. All they have to do is just cater to your ego, right? But you're not in an arrogant position, actually. You're actually just in a position of, having something to feel good about. It's like the dawn of a new day for you. And you're not the person you were before when you were involved with this person. And I actually feel like you may be coming into alignment with somebody here. You may be coming into alignment in a new relationship. Or you may be in a situation where, you don't want to go back to the past, okay? You like where you are now. You like what you got going on now. And what you got going on now, there's a lot of romantic kind of overtones here, but it certainly could be somebody you're partnering with on something. Whoever you're connecting with now, you feel like they're your light at the end of the tunnel. Like this is somebody that, has been there as sort of like, I don't know why it's coming through like this, but it is. It's sort of like your beacon of hope. Like, I feel like whatever this was that you had to pull yourself away from here because it got really dramatic and really messy and was very problematic because of all these people attached to this situation and this kind of sneaky energy. It feels like it's coming in around an ex, I have to tell you. I think it was really hard for you to walk away from this. It took a long time for you to find your balance. It took a long time for you to integrate that experience. And you spent a lot of time in self-reflection. You did a lot of deep healing work here, but you've been nurturing your growth. And now it looks like you're partnering with somebody here where it feels really good. And they are your sunshine, And there's somebody who lets you shine in your own right. But there's this like sneaky energy that wants to come in and try to tempt you to go back, go back where you've been. Sort of like, no, you're not allowed to shine. No. Sit back down. And I don't see you sitting back down. I see that you're going to see right through this. You're going to cut to the chase. And you're really going to kind of give this person a reality check. It's like they're the ones who are too prideful in this situation. And I love it for you because it's like you're going to come to this crossroads position where it's like, okay, you're going to be tested. Are you going to fall for the temptation? Are you going to listen to this person who's trying to drive a wedge between you and that which is your sunshine? It is the dawn of your new day. It is the reward on the other side of all the healing work you've done. And you're going to choose you. And this has everything to do with you really paying attention to the way Spirit's been talking to you. You've been getting the signs. You have every indication about what you need to do here. And also with this hawk medicine here, there could be a connection to Aries in this situation, or this could have been a situation that's sort of been playing out for you since Aries was in the North Node. So going back a couple years here, I do feel like Aries season is pivotal for you in relation to a choice you're making. And for some of you, it could be a choice you're making in love. And I feel like rather than going back to a place you've already been, it was very imbalanced for you and that required you, sort of always have suspicion and have your hackles up because somebody was a little bit sneaky and you never really knew what was going on. There was a lot hidden there and it came with a lot of drama and complication. It may have even been a clandestine situation you were in where this person didn't want to represent you. It's like you always had to have your connection hidden. You're breaking away from that and you're coming into alignment with something new. And it looks like really to me, somebody new, okay? You're partnering with somebody new. To me, this says big romance vibes here. So I do feel like you're connecting with somebody here that really does see your value. They appreciate you. There's a lot of synchronicity around this connection. You do feel like this is something that spirit earmarked for you. It's a soul connection. There's soul recognition here, and you're not going to let this snake in the grass come in between the two of you. So I like this. Let me do a cut of the deck here. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Okay. Yeah. You're putting an end to something that in the past you would have been all in with this. All right. But now you're decidedly out. All right. With the number 13 here, this is about you recognizing your power to reverse a bad luck cycle that has gone down in your life. You're recognizing the reason why you were dealing with so many issues, so many problems, is because you didn't have an accurate reflection of yourself. You kept kind of turning to another for their attention, their recognition, and you were never going to get it there because this person was only happy when they were in the position of power. You always had to play second fiddle here. You may have even dealt with some kind of like, if you know people that, like to throw some work around, you could have been dealing with somebody who was gunning for you on that level as well. Right? There could have been a little magical spell casting foul play. I feel like if that's the case, that could have been something that played out over a 7-year cycle. You may have felt like you dealt with a lot of bad luck over a 7-year stretch here. So something that's been in place since 2018. I feel like this is finally wrapping up. It's coming to a close. But I feel like it's because you're finally seeing things accurately and you're really taking personal accountability here. And you're recognizing that it's because I wasn't seeing myself accurately here. I was seeing myself in a distorted way because I was seeing it through the projection of others. Or somebody who was, in a position where they had too much power over me, but it was power I let them have over me. So I see you closing the door on this, and this is giving you so many keys that open up new doors of possibility. And you are opening a door here, and it's a door that it's entering into the more light building time in your life. You're moving out of the shadows into the light. And yeah, I think there's some kind of celebration here. You're finding the place where you belong. And there may even be a real banner moment around this with the 4th of July, like I'm seeing fireworks here, okay? I mean, you may have kind of a strange connection, but it works for you, all right? I do feel like there's something you're really celebrating in your season here, and it's in relation to a house. You found somebody who gets you. So I don't know if that's the case. Maybe you were involved with somebody who they kind of put you down, or they didn't really get you, or they thought you were a little weird, or I think you're finding an oddball just like you. You're finding somebody who's into the same stuff you are. I mean, there's just real good like soul recognition here. But the reason why you're able to come into alignment with this and finally find the place where you belong, I feel like that's what the house is talking about. And somebody who accepts you as you are, all parts of you, doesn't make you feel like you're some kind of pariah. Like whoever this person is, they're proud. They're proud to open up this door, this new chapter with you. They're proud to represent you. You know, you may even be like moving in with this person, like living with this person. Okay. If you were already living with this person and you're in a committed relationship and there was some outside interference from an ex, I see you completely resolving this issue and opening up a new chapter because you recognize that whoever you're coming into alignment with now, they see the true value in you, and you're a team. You're a team, and you're acting out of your wisdom. You're understanding yourself better, and it's breaking a bad luck cycle for you. Look at this. It's beautiful. Okay, you're digesting the old cycle. This is really going to become clear for you. I feel with your birthday season, it's coming in like right around July, August. You know, some old cycle is totally done and dusted here, and it brings about regeneration for you and a connection that's really going to last. Like whoever you're partnering with here, it's going to last and it's good, but you're getting to the other side of some heavy stuff. Like I feel like you were dealing with a lot of eighth house issues. You may have been dealing with a Scorpio that was bringing a lot of heaviness in your situation. You may have been dealing with a clandestine situation or matters that were taboo, you know, and dealing with a lot of endings and just trying to integrate all that. But you're getting to the other side of it, and it's shining a light on your future, and it looks really good. Okay, Leo, that's how it's coming through for you. Sagittarius, let's see how this is going to be playing out for you. All right, what's coming in for Sagittarius in relation to this, Spirit? What's coming in for Sagittarius in relation to this download? How is this going to be playing out for Sagittarius or Gemini rising? How is this going to be playing out for Sagittarius? Let's see what we got here for Sagittarius. Ooh, you're in the money. I like this. It looks like if you play the stock market, stocks on the increase, maybe quite unexpectedly, you're going to have some big win here. And that's the game changer for you. It allows you to end an old cycle and head down a new road of adventure. I do feel like you're sort of finding your lane. You're finding where you belong. Like this is the lane I belong in, you know? And your route is not like others' routes to success. I feel that. I feel like you're tired of kind of going the industry standard route. You don't want to do that anymore. And whatever you've been doing in relation to your work, you're ready to just completely flip it on its head. This is a totally new approach here. It may require you to, you know, sort of set your sights on something and really go for it and just be persistent in it to see it through while it kind of gains traction. Okay, that's the way it's sort of coming in, because whatever you're doing here, it's a bit of a risk, but I see it's a risk that's going to pay off. It does require you to really put a certain strategy in play. You're going to have to use your brains here. All right. I do feel like it's also about taking a brainchild and actually acting on it. You've been thinking about this for a while. What are you going to do with it? All right. There's also the piece here about needing to have courage as well to strike out in this direction. You're going to have to go your own way. Other people may not agree with your approach. They think you're taking too many risks here. It's reckless. Like, what are you doing? You got something really stable here and you're about to mess it up. No, it's about to actually pay off for me. It's about to pay off for me. I feel like you already got a little insight. You know that there's a wizard, you know, sort of pulling strings behind the curtain. You don't want to play the game. You want to go outside of that box. You're not meant to live in a cage. You're meant to roam free. That is your energy. And I do feel like you're ready for adventure here. You're ready to really act on where you know you belong. And to me, it feels like an arena you belong in. But there's something about it where other people feel like it's a bit risky. And yet you know that if you continue on the track you've been on, your heart's just not in it. It's just not in it, okay? So this is abundance. It's a big financial level up for you, but it does involve you taking a risk here, okay? Acting on that brilliant brainchild of yours. Oh, wow, a lot came out there. Look at this. The queen energy comes out again as the bottom of the deck. Wow. So I do see like there's a big level up happening here for all of you fire signs. You're like straightening that crown, okay? Big Aries connection there too, Aries season. So this is something you're coming into alignment with Aries season. Ooh, and I mean, you got to strike. You got to strike while the iron's hot here. And I do feel like there's something here. It's something that's very lucky for you, all right? But it's sudden and it like it lights up your ass, man, and you got to get moving on it. I feel like that. This is that bolt of inspiration that comes out of the blue. At the same time, you know, in that opening message, I think that's really echoed here. Your choice to act on this and head in this direction, it's sort of like a tower for other people, but for you, it's your wish fulfillment. I love it. Look at that. Your wish is my command, okay? So there's some success here, and it has something to do with, you know, a deeply held wish you have for some kind of expansion you want to experience here. There's communication here, and it brings a gift. And that gift is that it gives you a brand new start, a fresh start here, I feel, that allows you to move totally independently. All right. And I do feel like it's something that you have to kind of keep under wraps because you do have some energies hanging out here trying to find out what secrets are you keeping from us. There's a little bit of that group dynamic energy around you too, okay? People know that something's up here. They can smell the success on you. They know that something's coming into alignment. And there is somebody here. They're a bit of a genie. Your wish is my command. What do you want? There might even be something about 3 wishes here. All right. But remember that. Make your wishes wisely. Be careful what you wish for. Because it does look like whatever this is, it does bring some success into view that before was sort of clouded from your view. But I do feel, you know, when we look at that, there's also something about your visibility increasing here too. All right. Right now, it's sort of developing behind the scenes. It does require you to go your own way, but I don't know. Maybe you've really been having to work really hard here, and something that's coming into alignment for you, it allows you to kind of chill a little bit. I like this, right? Mm-hmm. And then here we have you sort of dissolving a really compromising arrangement that you recognized was not ever going to bring you the success you desired because somebody else always held the power in your hands. And it has you making an agreement with something, but it's like hidden, that's much more in alignment for you after you receive this news. Okay, it creates a big change in your life, but it is something that's like, yes, this is the direction you need to go in. You're dissolving a situation where you are in a very compromising position here. For some of you, that could be with a Cancer. I'm just noticing that crab claw there. And this is something that makes it all worth it, okay? 12th house energy, blind spot eliminated. You know exactly where you're heading. Karmic cycle closed. You're getting yourself out of a situation with something that was working against you. And that could even be just an aspect of yourself that was too reticent to really follow your heart. But you're getting to the other side of this, and the direction you're heading in, it feels really good to you here. You're not caught up at the crossroads anymore. You're not hung up here with that hangman energy coming in there. You're moving forward here, and whatever it is, it's definitely a crowning moment for you, something to celebrate. Okay. Some of you could also be getting out of a relationship that operated more like a business sort of arrangement, okay? And you're actually falling in love here. You're falling in love, right? You recognize what's been working against you from being able to come into alignment with somebody, that really feels like somebody you have a heart and soul connection with here. It brings a tower to somebody else, right? I do see in the case of love, though, I think you're going to spend some time first, like on your own. I don't think it's anything you will rush into. This change in your status may eventually lead to a new beginning in love, but I see at first you're going to want to maintain your independence for a little bit. I do feel like you're kind of like in that hermit mode a little bit, just feeling good, enjoying having a little time to relax, chill out, maybe integrate your experiences here, integrate what you're closing out as you open up to something new. But that's because there is some fulfillment coming in here in the form of it looks like a lot of abundance, right? Financially, specifically, something really paying off here. And just be aware. There are people, perhaps competitive people, who know that you got something cooking here, that something's coming through for you. So I would just kind of keep to myself, right? And you could be, meeting somebody here and starting to move forward with somebody here that you have a real heart and soul connection with. And you may want to like share the good news. I really recommend you keep it to yourself. That's what I feel. You should keep it to yourself. Just let it develop, nice and slow, and don't push the river here, because I feel like people sense something's up, and they're nosy here, and they want access to what's going on with you. And it could be for catty reasons to cause you some problems here, right? So just keep quiet with this. Let me do a cut of the deck, see what we got to cap it off, Sagittarius. Oh, yeah. You're going to be really enjoying where you end up here, I have to say, okay? This is a building block for the future. I think there's definitely somebody else you're coming into alignment with here, and there's like a strong foundation to this. And for you, this is really gratifying. You're really getting your fill. I also feel like you're in a much more secure position. So you might have been stressed about your security in some way, maybe even financially, but this is where you don't have to worry about that. You're about to be living a little high on the hog. That's what it looks like here. Some of you may even be investing in a new home, okay? You might be getting into homesteading, this coming in for some of you. But there's definitely something here where it's personally gratifying for you. It's got big 9 of Cups energy. And what's on the other side here has everything to do with this message you're going to receive, all right? And like opened up in the collective download, it brings a tower for someone, but for you, it moves you forward. It's got chariot energy around it. It moves you forward, and it brings some kind of lucky new cycle into play for you. So this looks really good. Yep. You do need to go your own way for a little bit here, okay? You do need to be quiet about how you're moving here, right? And there is something about this road is opening up for you, but it is going to take some work. And be aware of what you're kind of like inclined to drag along with you here, because there's people who want to know what you're up to. And this is actually burdening you. It's holding you back. It might be in your best interest to sort of let that energy fall behind. But yeah, some of you are moving. You're moving. You're moving out of the city. You might be moving somewhere where it's more like kind of chill, more nature around you, somewhere a little bit more cozy, where you have a little bit more privacy as well. Or you might be taking an extended vacation. Okay, this could be coming in. Yeah. just be aware who you share this information with, because whatever you're coming into alignment with here, with the snake and the cats, they will try to sabotage it for you. If you let them in on what's going on here, they'll sabotage this happiness for you. So you do have to really keep it on the down low right now. Okay, let things develop quietly here. This looks really good. All right, fire signs, you got some cool stuff in store here. I like what I'm seeing for you. You got to watch out for the riffraff here, man. You got to play your cards right, or you could really shoot yourself in the foot. The cards can show you what the potential is, but it's all about the moves you make. Remember, you are the creator of your reality. So when this news comes in and you find out that that thing that you've been waiting for is suddenly a possibility, really consider what you're willing to sort of bring in tow with you. All right, make sure you're getting very clear about this. There's every indication, though, that there's something here that you need to kind of like keep to yourself a little bit. And fortune's on the rise. Like, you're entering a very prosperous cycle here, where at one point you felt held back. All of a sudden, there's a lot of growth. Good for you, man.